Despite the fact that Gary from Physical Format Rock and Roll hates my intro, says it's too long, and says I talk unnecessarily before my intro, I'm going to do it anyway. Too bad, Gary. Today, I'm going to share with you my Record Store Day pickups and some of my recent vinyl finds. So stay tuned, unless you're Gary. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. And thank you for joining me, Gary, after my long annoying introduction. Today I'm going to share with you the couple Record Store Day pickups that I've got. And I'm going to show you some of my recent vinyl finds. I haven't done one of these in a long time, mainly because I've really slowed down on buying records in the last 5 or 6 months, just because it's getting expensive. So pace myself. I have bought a couple expensive records. There's a Grail on the way, but we'll save that for another video. So we're going to start with what I picked up this year for Record Store Day. There wasn't much on the Record Store Day list this year that had me terribly excited. Only two. And this one, I wasn't able to get into Record Store Day on Record Store Day because the lineup at my local was insane and it wasn't that important. So I actually picked this up today, as a matter of fact, 2 weeks after Record Store Day. This is Stevie Nicks' Belladonna Live, live 1981. So I guess this is recorded live at the Wilshire Theater in Beverly Hills on the 13th of December, 1981. Originally, this was a video that was on HBO, and then it was released on VHS and Laserdisc called Stevie Nicks in Concert. So this is the first time that this has appeared on vinyl. It's 2 discs, and it highlights some of the songs from her Belladonna album, which I think is outstanding. And it also has obviously some of her Fleetwood Mac tunes. It's all live. Gold Dust Woman, Dreams, After the Glitter Fades, Leather and Lace, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, Belladonna, Edge of 17, Rhiannon, just to name a few. There's more. This is outstanding. I love Stevie Nicks. Her guitar player, Waddy Wachtel, is one of my favorite guitar players. Benmont Tench is on here from the Heartbreakers. Just a fantastic live Stevie Nicks album. Can anyone guess what my other Record Store Day pickup is? Yep. Taylor Swift. Yes, I'm a Swiftie. Regular viewers will know that. This is Folklore, the Long Pond Studio Sessions. Folklore was her first album that she did in the pandemic, and recorded a live off the floor version of the entire album at the Long Pond Studios with the musicians that played on the album. It was released previously digitally. This is the first time it was on vinyl. Double silver vinyl. Glad to pick this up. I didn't pick this up in person. My local didn't have any, but thankfully a fellow vinyl community YouTube channel maker person, friend of mine, knew I was on the lookout for it and was able to snag me a copy. I will keep him anonymous to spare his pride. So anyway, this was my other Record Store Day pickup. A couple new vinyl finds in the last month or so. There's a record store in Oakville, Ontario that I absolutely love called PCV Records. I can never walk out of there without spending money. I was in there a month ago and I found this. This is Me First in the Gimme Gimmes. It's called Rake It In. This is their greatest hits. I love Me First in the Gimme Gimmes. They're a punk band. That's not even right, but punk flavored. But they're kind of a novelty act. That what their deal is they do sort of punk flavored covers of songs that are not of that vein. So like a punk version of Jolene or Uptown Girl, Hats Off to Larry, Desperado, um, I Believe I Can Fly, Sloop John B, Country Roads, just to give you an idea. I love Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. I've got a couple of their albums on vinyl. I don't have all of them. There's a bunch more that I need to get. So when I saw the greatest hits, generally I don't buy greatest hits, but not all of their albums are available on vinyl. So I figured I would grab this, and it was at a pretty reasonable price. So Me First and the Gimme Gimmes greatest hits. On that same visit, a band I really love. This is the Old 97s. They're a country rock, alt country band from Texas. This, I believe this was a Record Store Day release last year, and this was on clearance. This is, I guess it's an EP. It's called One More Road. This is the Old 97s covering Johnny Cash songs. So Big River, One More Ride, Mystery Train, Train of Love, and then the B-side is I Got Stripes and Wreck of the Old 97. It's fantastic. I mean, I'm not a giant Johnny Cash fan, but I love the Old 97s, and they certainly paid some homage to him on this. So this is just the fun. I'm kind of an Old 97s completist. There's about 2 more albums that I need, but this was like $10 or something. So couldn't pass it up. The last new vinyl find actually just got yesterday. Crazy excited about this. And this will mean virtually nothing to Americans. Sorry, folks. This is the self-titled debut by Amanda Marshall. This came out in 1995. Amanda Marshall is a Canadian singer-songwriter, very much in the vein of Sheryl Crow. That is what I think of. But I think she's better, to be quite honest. Much better voice. Amanda put out 3 albums. There was this, and then there was Tuesday's Child. And I forget what the 3rd album was called. And then she walked away from music because of a contractual dispute with her label and her manager. And she walked away from music for 20 years. She's just recorded a new album. She's just launching a tour. Great that she's back on the music scene. This album, if you're a Canadian, you know it. You've heard it. It was all over the radio. It was all over Much Music. There were 6 of the 10 songs in here. I think there were 6 singles, all of them massive radio hits. Birmingham was actually her only song to chart in the U.S., but to us Canadians, Dark Horse was the big one. Let It Rain. This is just an amazing pop rock album from the 90s. This was just reissued within the last couple months because Amanda's, as I said, starting her sort of comeback tour. So they reissued this, and it sold out literally within weeks. Sony doesn't have it on their website anymore, so stores can't order it. It's gone off Amanda's website, but my local had it, and they held it for me so I could go and get it. It's not like a white marble vinyl, but this is a fantastic, fantastic singer-songwriter, contemporary pop rock. If you like Sheryl Crow, take a listen to Amanda Marshall. She's awesome. And this is the album to start with. I've got a couple used vinyl records that I picked up. A couple weeks, maybe a month ago, my wife and son and I went to a local antique mall. I won't say where, because I like keeping my little antique malls a secret. And there's a couple record dealers there. And I picked up this gem from 1986, the Georgia Satellites. I think the only song of note on here is a song called Keep Your Hands to Yourself. It was a minor radio hit. These guys are just fun. It's just kind of 80s, not 80s rock. I mean, it's rock from the 80s, but it doesn't quite sound so 80s-ish, but I don't know how to describe it. But if you know the song, Keep Your Hands to Yourself, this is what this whole album sounds like. And I love that song. Hadn't heard the rest of the album, but I picked it up because I think this was like $6. And it's fantastic. Glad I found it. Love it. At that same antique mall, I picked up an album that everybody knows. It requires absolutely zero explanation. Cheap Trick and Budokan. I like Cheap Trick. Didn't have any on vinyl. And obviously, this is the place to start. This is what has I Want You to Want Me on here. Surrender's also on here. Fantastic album. Everybody knows this. I picked this up for like $8. So can't beat it. Anyway, there you go, folks. There's just some of the finds that I picked up over the last couple months. Some used, some new, some record store day. That's what I got. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Catch you on the flip side.